Hello, everyone. It's Lydia with the Avanti Wellness podcast and YouTube channel. And today I have a Avanti community member that I'd like to introduce you to. I'm sitting here with Ginger from South Carolina. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, how are you doing? Hi,
I'm
everybody
doing
else.
great. I'm doing great. Just a beautiful day here. It's like 75 degrees and the sun was shining and it was breezy. And for a February 11th date, we love it.
Yes, we love.
What's it like in South Carolina?
It's a little bit overcast. It's not quite 75, like in the high 60s, and I really prefer winter in the South. I really do. So yes, it's a good day.
We're lucky. Yeah, we get to enjoy that. So we're here today because we're going to not only get to know Ginger a little bit better, but we're going to find out some of the wonderful benefits that she's had as she started to incorporate rebounding into her life. So, Ginger, would you just take a moment and before we dive into the rebounding stuff, will you just kind of introduce yourself and let us kind of get to know you a little better? Like anything you want us to know about you?
Hi, I'm Ginger. I'm from South Carolina. I've I'm on a quest right now to improve my health, to be a better version of me. And so I've started learning and just incorporating different techniques to improve my health and to improve me. And so when I ran across Lydia's Avanti Wellness, it was like great because it just totally dived into what I was already striving to and also helped me in learning more about my journey. And so that's basically where I am. I mean,
When did tell me when did you find me? Let's tell the audience when you found me. You said November?
I found you around that November, December time frame. I think it was after Thanksgiving. I think I was just home, just going through, seeing reels or going through my stuff. Because
Scrolling.
yes, because see, I watched a lot of Barbara O'Neill lectures, and so she was talking about rebounding. So that started my quest for finding a rebounder. And so once I found it on Amazon marketplace, as a matter of fact, because I was like, if I don't like this, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of money on doing this. So let's just find a starter. And I found it. And then when I came back and I started jumping a little bit, and I have a history. I have several medical issues. This is my story. It's just me. I have medical issues. And one of my history is vertigo. And
Oh, that's
and so I have to
horrible.
be really careful on how I move my head, and how I'm jumping or bouncing. And, I have a whole body vibrator, which you see, I think it's on my right, your left maybe. And so I just get on my plate and I would vibrate and that was fine. And then I was adding the rebounding and it was like all of a sudden I got dizzy and I actually triggered a minor vertigo episode. And so I had to stop. And then once I stopped and said, okay, cool, I'm not going to stop doing this. I'm going to continue. So instead of going as hard as I had been going, as long as I had been going,
What was
I,
that? Was that like 20 minutes? How much were
well,
you doing to trigger the episode?
I'm superwoman, over 50, but I'm superwoman, So I'm like, so the first day, okay, I have a history. Let's just do like 3 minutes of like health bounce and then jumping. And then the second day, I was like, okay, cool. We can do like 2 minutes of health bounce and like 5 minutes of jumping. And then the third day, because if I don't do it every day, I'm going to be inconsistent. So I have to start the habit. And so on the third day, I'm like doing health bounce, and then I'm doing the rebounding like for 5-10 minutes, and then I got off, and the world was not a steady place, and I knew I was starting to trigger one of my episodes, and so I basically stayed off of it. That day I rested. I didn't go anywhere, didn't do anything because, when you have vertigo and you're dizzy, it is not a good idea to drive. It's actually kind of illegal. I think one of my doctors told me is that if it's known that I have a vertigo episode and I'm driving and I get in an accident, even if it's not my fault, because of my medical history, I shouldn't have been on the road. That was
Right.
a
I
long
can't
time
even
ago.
walk when I have vertigo, so I can't
Um,
imagine driving.
Depending on the level of
The
it,
severity,
the
yeah.
severity of it. But it was a minor one, and so I said, okay, cool. that day I just stayed in the house. I just basically laid down, relaxed, prayed, just to get myself together. And the next day, the next 2, 3 days, I took off. And then I said, okay, I'm going to start again. And so I started with a health bounce, like for a minute or two. And the next day was a minute or two. The third day was a minute or two. And I think it's around that time that I actually saw one of your videos. Didn't join, but I saw one, that trolling that you call it. And so I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. She does this every day. And then one of the things that hit me, because consistency is not always my friend. And when I heard you say, I did not see results until after 30 days, and I'm on like day 45 or 46. And if you want to see the difference, you can go back to the October, I think it was, episodes. And I said, 30 whole days? Okay, I can do this for 30 days to see if it'll make a
Right.
difference.
You gave yourself like a benchmark.
Right. And so that's when I really kind of started being consistent again on doing it, as in saying, okay, I've been doing it for a few days now, just a health bounce. And then this lady is saying, okay, all I need is a health bounce. I don't have to go high. I don't have to leave. My
Wait,
feet don't
who's the
have to leave.
lady? Are you talking about
Yes.
me, this lady?
Yes, you. I was like, here's this lady. And I was like, it's when I first started, it's like, there's this lady. She's saying, okay, and I think she's around my age. And I think she's, that's
Yeah, and I'm talking about
sizes.
patience. What am
And
I
so,
talking about? Patience.
yes.
Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself grace. Just be patient, right? I'm having all that conversation with us.
Yes, you were saying all those things. And it was like, okay, cool. And you're just being authentic. One of the things I like about you is that you are authentically you. If you're crying, you're crying. If you're happy, you're happy. It's awesome. And
I try to limit the crying.
It's okay though, but see that's the authenticity that kind of it allows people to know that crying is not bad. You hear people always saying, "Don't cry, be a big girl, be strong," and there you are being authentic with your
We have
journey,
emotions, don't we?
right? And so so that's how when I found you, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I watched you a few days, and then I actually think I subscribed, and I started actually commenting and stuff after a few more days.
You started getting engaged with the
Yes, and becoming a part of the
process.
community. So I think I laughingly joke and say, yeah, I just take whatever my day is. Your day minus 46 is what my day is. So it's like that's a lazy way to do it, but it's like I can subtract. Keeping track is not
Yes.
always so good. And so, like
Well,
you
I
said,
want to commend you for your stick to itedness, your consistency, the engagement, because you're not really doing it for us, although we get the benefit of having you be a part of our community, but really the commitment is to yourself. So
yes,
your engagement is in order to assist you and keep you on track. And I just want to acknowledge you for all of those things, because here you were on let's see, January 1, you participated in our Move More in 24 movement, and you showed up, and you were probably, was that sick? No, let's see, how many days would that have been? Maybe by that time, I guess maybe 35 or so days by the time you did the January 1, because you said November. Was it the
well,
beginning of November or
no, no,
towards the
no,
end?
towards the end.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so
As
that would have
people
been
start looking at the new
it been close
year.
to like a month. Yes, that I've been doing this, and it's sort of okay, cool, we can do this. So
Awesome. So let's talk about you said you've had some changes, and some benefits. So what are some of those things? And just in the beginning, remember the beginning times, like were you starting to feel stronger muscles? Like what were you feeling first? Because I started feeling like less fluid in my body, less cushy.
I started feeling that a part of my journey also was changing my diet, eating more vegetables, eating more green leafies, those cruciferous vegetables that they talk about, and drinking more water, doing those things. But in the beginning, when I first started bouncing, bouncing, I just realized that one, it was fun. So I was smiling more. Two, I had my body shape started changing slowly. I mean, I'm not a trophy twin as we say it, but I know that right now my body is changing. And and for me, I like to get on to do the measurements. I will grab my tape measure and measure in a heartbeat and track it just to see, am I bloated today? Am I not? Am I in a good place? Am I losing? Am I gaining? I like to keep track of all of that. And so I've been tracking, and it's like, okay, I see half an inch or an inch moving around, and I see the scale moving, and I'm like, okay, this is good. This is good. One of my things was I actually started my health journey in early August, late July. And so by the time December came around, I had lost 30 pounds and
Wow,
several inches.
congratulations.
And so that was major. And I know rebounding was a main part of that because I don't like interesting weather. I like nice weather. I like pleasant weather. I'm going to go outside in pleasant weather. If it's too hot, too cold, raining, snowing, I'm not going outside. I'm not an all-weather outside exercise girl. But with in the house, I now have this rebounder in the house, and it's right behind where I work at because I work from home a few days a week. It's easy to get up and get on it. And I can get on it twice a day because I can get before I go to work, and then sometime in the evening I get on it again. And so the changes that I saw is that my commitment level was high. So I was able to easily, consistently exercise. I saw my body starting to change a little bit. I saw my mental clarity and my
Like
attitude became more
focus and
positive and more focused, more positive, and I had a bit more patience with people because people are special sometimes. And so I had a little bit more patience or more tolerance, I guess you could say. Because when you're stressed and when you're sad, you don't really have tolerance for other people.
yeah, we
I
snap
mean,
at
you're
people.
like, why are you in my space? Or what is going on? What did you do that for? And then now I'm like, okay, that was interesting. Okay, down next. It doesn't affect me. Let's go. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
we've had that moment. Let's keep it moving. And so those are some of the things that I've noticed from the beginning on to now. But in the beginning, it was the body changing. And my attitude. And so that was good.
Okay. And then when you went to some kind of a checkup or something, what did they find?
Yes, I have been, I'm a diabetic. And like I said, this is my story. This is what I did. Like, the doctors have always been saying, change your diet, move, exercise, move more. And of course, I'm going like, yes, no. So this time I have been changing my diet. I've been drinking my water. I've been eating my salads. I've been eating, I
Your
still have
smoothies.
my smoothies. I love my green smoothies now. And people are asking me, well, how do green smoothies taste? Because they don't look attractive. And I'm like, they taste like results. Okay. It's what I
Wait, say
want.
that again. I want everyone to hear that again. That is so funny.
It tastes like results. I mean, if you really want to make a change, you have to commit to it. And sometimes the commitment isn't pleasant. And so I've gotten to the point now that when I have my green smoothies, I like them. And
Yeah,
I've
your
gotten to
taste
my green
buds
smoothies.
change, don't they?
They do. And I miss it when I don't have it. And I know when I do need to have it. And so I drink, usually my breakfast is green smoothies, and maybe a snack is a green smoothie, like a 12-ounce homemade green smoothie. And so with all of that being said, and I'm now doing a cell exercise and moving my cells around. I go to the doctor for my checkup, and she's like, "You've lost weight." I did. Yes, I did. She's like, "That's good." And she's checking my A1C, and she's like, "It's dropped almost 3 points, and it's almost, normal." And so I go to my other doctor, the endocrinologist. This is my general doctor I went to for my annual checkup. And then I go to my endocrinologist who's really, helping me manage my diabetes. And she's, "Oh, you've lost weight. Oh, your A1C is good." And then she's talking about, I was insulin dependent. And she was like, but I had to stop taking it because even if I took a minimum amount, I was having low sugars, which causes a whole different set of issues. And so she's like, "Why don't let's just try you not taking it at all and seeing how your blood sugars do." So I'm in that let's
That
wait and see,
phase.
that phase of checking to make sure I'm still good without being insulin
Yeah,
dependent.
you're monitoring it, right?
Right. But they were just monitoring it, seeing how it's going, and everything is good. My numbers are low, not too low, but just in the regular range. When I wake up in the middle of the day, they're good ranges. And I know it's partially because of the moving, because of I'm now introducing the smoothies and all the water. I drink so much water. It's like I drink about 80 to 100 ounces of water a day.
That's wonderful. Can I
So,
talk about that for a second?
yes, please.
So the water is so important because I heard this through someone that a body can't release its fluid if it's dehydrated. So it's not going to let go of excess fluid until it's hydrated and the cells are hydrated. And so we got to make sure we get the water into the cells. And what can help with that is like minerals. And, Barbara O'Neill talks about that, getting those minerals inside the cell so that the water can get in there too. But I want to just mention that for anyone who's finding Ginger's video for the first time, we want to just let you know, like, what does rebounding actually do? Well, when you're bouncing on a down bounce, it's an impact of where the springs and the bungees take most of that impact pressure, but your body has a little bit of a squeeze. And then when you're on the upside of that jump, it's a release. And so in that release moment is when the lymphatic ducts open and it releases and cleans out the waste removal system of the body. What is it removing? Dead cells that it no longer needs, microbes that it no longer needs, just trash and toxins and things like that got to get out the body. But if you don't give it water to transport out of the body, it's not going to have enough water to flush it out. So I always talk about we're opening our floodgates and releasing the water every time we're bouncing on the rebounder. So her water drinking is assisting her body into flushing out the bad cells. And when I say bad cells, I just mean like the old cells, the dead cells, whatever cells need to be replaced. And then those healthy cells, she's eating all those smoothies and she's getting her oxygen in, and that is helping to replace the good cells so she can regenerate parts of her body and her organs to be back working functionally and properly. And just because I'm chatting right now, I want to mention this. We know that this is an individual story. It's an individual testimony. We're sharing what has worked for Ginger, and everyone's results are going to be different. And we highly recommend that you talk to your own personal medical practitioner about your own situation. We're just sharing hope that there could be a possibility for health and healing and wellness for you. You just have to go on that journey and figure out what are the things that your body needs. And we're letting you know of the good benefits we've had with rebounding that match the book that we've been reading, which is called The New Miracles of Rebounding. And it was written in the 80s.
Yes.
So I just want to mention all of that so we can have people put into context what is happening to her is what the book talks about can happen. It's just that we're now sharing the stories after 40, 50, 60. I'm on day 108 or no, 104. And so I didn't have any of those health challenges to measure myself by, but I will tell you that my hair is getting so dark, and this is my natural hair color. I haven't put hair dye in my hair since 1998 at 55 years old, and it's reversing. I feel like I'm anti-aging, and some of that has to do with the oxygen, and the healthy cells are getting replaced and getting, I'm having thicker hair because I'm able to bring oxygen to the hair follicle area to re-stimulate that growth. Have you experienced anything related to, better hair or anything like that? Like anything physical, like eyebrows or anything like that? I mean, do you do the castor oil?
I do the castor oil. I do the castor oil packs. I do the castor oil on my face. So I have noticed that at one point, they tell you how the benefits of castor oil is really great. I mean, I like my castor oil. So it's of course tightening my skin. So as I'm losing weight, I'm not having extra skin. I'm thankful for that.
Right.
I'm using the castor oil on my face and on my eyelids because, you know, when I help with my vision, I do wear glasses. I have since I was 8. So it'd be nice to not have to wear glasses, but who knows what may happen. This is my journey. I'm just trying different things. And like I said, I've noticed that my face does, you know,
It feels tighter.
it feels tighter. It
I feel like
feels,
it's a facelift, right? Everything just
yeah,
kind
it's
of.
like you're just doing stuff and it's just like, oh, okay, that's good. Like when it's like I've gotten a compliment or two on my skin saying, oh, your skin looks good, or your skin looks different, or you know, and I get all the time, you don't look your age. I'm like, well, I am telling you that I am 51. I am so proud of that age. I made
Me
it. It
too.
took me
I'm
a
proud
while
of
to
that
get
age.
here, and I'm like, I was fun side a side comment is I was at lunch today, and I was like, I have my AARP card. I want my discount. Okay, I worked hard on getting this discount, and so
I earned it.
yes, and so I'm like at 50. I'm like, so I can't imagine 60, but 50 is so much fun right now. But but yes, I mean, I didn't notice anything per se, but I know others have noticed it, and
Yeah.
I know that like I said, the skin is tighter on some places, and I know that there is some healing going on because again, I have a several different medical conditions that I just know that because I'm using the castor oil is helping. I know that I am also using different things. Like I've just started with the algae, so that's been fun learning about that. I've
The
you know
spirulina? You're using the
spirulina and
spirulina?
chlorella,
Yeah, that's so
hmm
good for you.
and so
I just finished my order, so I gotta find some more. Have you noticed I have a feeling, and I don't know the answer to this, this is just an open flow conversation, but um, I feel like the body is intelligent and it's going to know what it needs first. So you're going to be healing like new blood vessels for that vertigo things. Have you had any
mhm.
vertigo since?
I have not. I have not
Okay.
had an episode or even a threat of an episode lately. Usually when I haven't had any of the historical issues I've had because I've had major issues with nausea. You would not think nausea was a really bad thing, but I have had keeping me in the bed kind of nausea where if I moved 1 minute, it was like I was getting ready to throw up. Excuse my language, but that was what it was. But I haven't had those issues. I have not had the vertigo. I have not really um, been sick. I've been good. I haven't had to take any pain meds lately, so I'm like really excited about that because you know with the rebounding, you're not really jarring your muscles like you would on a hard surface. So that's been really helpful for my joints, you know, because they don't always like being jarred, you know. So the whole running or I don't run that much, but when I used to run, you know, you had that impact. And
Yeah.
so I don't have the like I said,
Yeah,
I don't
and for
take the
me,
meds
because I'm
anymore.
heavier, I don't want to injure my tendons. I
No.
don't care what the benefit is if for running. I don't want to injure them for my future. So I'm trying to be gentle and exercise in a way that is, nurturing my body and not tearing it down.
Right, because I believe that, you know, our bodies were created. You know, we have a body that I believe can heal itself if you give it the right nutrients, the water, and you actually have, you know, you just work with your body. As you said, you listen to it. And I believe you can help heal or reverse different symptoms in your body. And
Yeah.
so I'm working on that and I'm believing that. And I'm just working on me right now. And this is part of my journey right now. It's just doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. I've had vertigo several times. I recently had this weird thing where I'd be laying in my bed at night, and if I turned my head too far this way, I would get like kind of a little dizzy spin, and it would be like there's some kind of blood flow or something
In the
being
inner ear.
happening that I was getting blocked when I turned my head that way. And I noticed because here I am, day 104, and I test it and see like, can I still make that feeling happen when I turn my head? And I can't. And so I feel like the what's happening is I'm either making new pathways for the blood to flow or I'm just
Mhm.
healing a block that might have been there, and because I'm doing that squeezing of the blood vessels or whatever, it's pushing the oxygen through and maybe blasting through that, like, let's just call it like a blockage. And now I don't have it when I do that. So these are not things that were ever identified. Like I didn't go to the doctor for it, but when you listen to your own body and you're like, wow, I couldn't, pop out of the bathtub easily before. I had to
Right.
kind of stabilize myself and get myself stable before I popped up. I'm starting to be able to get from the floor to a standing position quickly. I was telling another person that I have a chase lounge in my backyard, but it's really low. So when I sit it, the legs are like super short. And when I sit in it, my knees are higher than my butt. And so
Okay.
getting up to get my butt above my knees and up, it's hard. I have to kind of turn over and then kind of push myself out of the sitting position. And now it's so much easier. I don't have to like struggle to get myself moving around because my knees are stronger, my ankles are stronger, my calves are stronger, everything's strong. My
Yes.
quadriceps and my glute
Mhm.
muscles are stronger. All of that. Have you had anything like that happen for you?
I have I have that I move easier. And so, yes, I can, I wasn't having that struggle on getting up, but I was having that struggle of sometimes it just be a little, my knees would bother me a little bit, or
Yeah.
it'll have a little bit of interesting. Um, it was really funny because last weekend, as a matter of fact, I was in Atlanta and my sister talked me into doing a 5K. I have not walked in months. I mean, just like from here to my car or from down the hall or
Right, but
whatever,
not
but
for
as in a
exercise.
distance,
Wow,
I
I
have
can't
not.
believe she got you to
But
do that.
but she talked me into it. I was like, okay. I was listening to we read the book New Miracles, and it's talking about some. And I think we read something else about how doing the hit training and then doing the, and you know how we do. I think you do the marching at the end,
Yeah,
and I'll
the
do like the
20-second thing.
20
Yeah.
second, and I'll do jumping jacks sometimes as my hit, as my 20 seconds or whatever. And that's just fun on the jumping jacks on a rebounder. If you have the a balance and the flexibility, it's just fun. And it doesn't hurt on the down. So anyway, so I said, okay, I think I can do this and not die. And I did it. And what was really cool was that I kept up with the ladies who they walk 5 to 7 miles every morning together, the ladies who I walked with. And I kept up, except for that last hill, I kept up. And so, and mind you, these ladies, this was all about fun. It wasn't about time. So we're like stopping, posing, taking pictures throughout the
Selfies.
5K. And I'm like, that was a first, but it happened. We did it. I did it without any problems. And so, I mean, they talk about rebounding, helping to help your endurance and help your body just be healthier. And here I am out walking 3.1 miles as a 5K is, and I didn't have any issues.
Like from scratch,
Right.
not practicing.
Had not been walking besides just in the house to the car, in the grocery store, that kind of thing. Definitely not I haven't been walking like for 20 minutes at one time in a long time. So, and we always talk education. We talk about how the research says 10 minutes on the rebounder is like a 40-minute walk. So I said, well, if that's the case,
You've
I've
been
been doing
doing
10 to
40-minute
15 minutes
walks.
on the rebounder, so I should have my heart can take it. I mean, I had a little bit of soreness on my quads, but that was it. So I was
That's
good.
lovely. If you think about it, yes, 40-minute walk every day if you've been doing 10 minutes. So you have been doing
Right.
walking.
My heart believes it, so I was good. So that's one of the differences. That's one of the accomplishments that I saw, because I don't think I would have tried it without being on the rebounder. I would have been like, yeah, you all go ahead, because this is going to hurt, because I've done it before and it hurt later, a lot. But
Well, and think of the confidence, and then the confidence to say yes is a big deal, and then the pride on the backside of that for like getting it done, and then not really being in that much pain about it, right?
it wasn't. I actually had to drive the 3.5 hours back home after I finished it. I went back to the house, packed. Well, we ate, went to the house, packed up, and got on the road and drove 3.5 hours. And I was tired, but I was good. And so that
Yeah,
was.
you could do it. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's awesome.
So
Is there anything, I know that you like being inspirational, and you like sewing
I
and some
do.
other hobbies that you do. Is there anything as we wrap up our conversation that you want to share with the world about on your intro video that you'd like anybody to know, or any kind of inspiration? You watch a lot of these
I
types of
do.
health, inspirational health things. What do you believe that you would like to impart on the world about their health journey to inspire others?
I just want others to know that it's your journey. It's however you make it, it's whatever you make it, it's as hard as you make it, it's as easy as you make it. But you have to realize it's your journey. It's not going to be over in 10 minutes, it's the lifetime. As they say, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I know that seems kind of cheesy, but it's really true. And so if you're trying something and it doesn't work, then try something else. If you're trying something and it does work, then you continue doing it. And just remember, for me, for types like me who like just to learn and like to try new things, education is the key. We have this whole big universe of the internet and social media and just knowledge all over the place where you can find out about anything you want to try. Whether you want to try rebounding, there's a lot of information about rebound. Well, not a lot. You want to try a different health, if you want to try the carnivore diet, then you try the carnivore. If you try the plant-based, whole foods, plant-based diet, you try that. If you want to stay in the middle, you try that. If you want to do intermittent fasting, it's what works for you. Whether you take the spirulina every day or you don't, just take chlorella. If you just take nothing at all besides water and sunshine, it's your journey. Honor it, love it, and most importantly, love you. Educate yourself, love yourself. Just be, as Lydia has said, be at peace with where you are on your journey. And I think be the joy that you want to see in the world. Enjoy. You are supposed to have joy in your life. So go ahead, walk it out and make it happen, because you are creating your life. And so you just do what you do.
Yeah,
So
that's beautiful. So we created a community on the channel that Ginger's a really big part of, and she's there and inspiring others and supporting others, and others are supporting her.
yes.
And what I say about my channel is, this is not a channel about me. It's a channel about we, and we're here to help and support each other. And some days we're going to have bad days, and things are going to happen. That life just happens. And it's the staying engaged in your journey. And then by sharing it with the community, maybe if it's just on Sunday nights or whatever, you're actively participating in your own life. And so if something's not working for you, what Ginger and I are sharing is that just keep trying. Don't give up on yourself, because there is a way. It's going to be your way, and it's going to be special to you, and you're going to find it if you keep looking. And for me, that is such a big piece of, I had this channel for 18 months before I met people like Ginger or Duty or Sierra. And within the last 2 months, we've all created something new together.
Yes.
And we're supporting each other. And I'm not giving up on my wellness. I want to be as vital and energetic and healthy till the end of my years. And even if those years may come sooner than I expect, it's okay, because I want to live in the years that I do have.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're trying to create something sustainable that you can build habits today and behaviors today that will take you into your 80s and 90s with independence, vitality, energy, and positivity, right, Ginger?
That's right. That's what we're doing.
It's what we're doing. And I think Sierra said this one time, what if we end up growing old together and doing this, and we just met each other online through the community, and here we are at 70 and 80 still connected and still supporting each other? Wouldn't that be a
That
beautiful
would be
community?
beautiful. It would be awesome. Because it's really funny when you meet people who have just that same energy, that's some of the same similar interests, and you're going like, wow. I mean, we've even talked about, I think on one of our texts or one of our chats, about doing a meetup, or two,
Oh, like a retreat. Yeah, like
right,
getting
like doing the
together.
retreat, whether we go to South Carolina, Texas, or where. It's just meeting up, bringing our rebounders, and just having a ball together. Because and we've only known each other for a month or two, and we all just vibe so well together. We just and my they're like, "Who's this Lydia?" "Oh, well, she's somebody I met online." It's like, "Ginger, are you sure?" And I'm like, "She's good. I'm good. She's good."
Their
Sonia, I
friends are
need to go talk to
questioning,
Sonia, and they're
why
like,
do you
"Who's
why do
Sonia?"
you love Lydia so much? What's so
Right.
special about her?
Yeah, so it's like we're just sisters in spirit. So we're getting along really well, and we're learning together. Because you love books, you love reading, because you read a lot on the channel. I like to read myself. I like to share my knowledge, and so it's just really good. And it's just
Like-minded.
right. So Sierra, same, that beautiful energy that she has. It's just so many people with that beautiful energy and the interest. And yes, we are rebounding, but we're all learning from each other. And so that's good. And of course, Duty, who has the knowledge base that she has, and her living just by living and being she's 90, right?
And so vital. She's
And
so
very vital.
alive. That's what I love
Yes.
about her. She's so energetic and alive at 90.
And so, and just, I could think she was cooking one night, and it was like, okay, cool. It was like, oh yeah, I got to cooking 40 more years of cooking. Oh, great. But, it's always good just to meet the different people and knowing that there are safe places in social media. There are a lot of unsafe, but there are some safe places, and this is one of them. So we do good.
Well, and one of the differences I'll say that I'm creating for the channel is I'm actually at least right now, why we don't have a million people, it's early days. I'm connecting with the participants, not just like this, but we get on the phone. Ginger and I will
Mhm.
text each other and say, "Oh, what's the spirulina that you're eating?" or "How did that bee pollen taste?" or whatever. We're
Mhm.
really having a real relationship, even though it's through a YouTube channel, because I believe I actually like people and I love meeting new people, and I never meet a stranger. And so people like Ginger probably feel the same
I
way. And
do.
so we're just AI is connecting us, and I'm loving it.
And we're going to
So
draw even more people in to be a bigger part of our community so we can continue to grow. So that's
yes, and
awesome.
I'll take this opportunity. Did you have a chance? You were probably at church this morning. Did you hear me
Yes.
say, have you seen today's video this
I
morning?
have not.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell you. Last night I created our own email address. So now I can
Oh,
have a private email that can be in, people who want to connect with us could just email me directly and say, put me on the email list. And so that I'll say it here. I made an email for our community called Avanti Wellness Community at gmail.com. And if you want to be added to our announcements and our activities and events, and even the private events that we might have in the future, you just want to get on the email list, go ahead and email me and let me know. And that's AVANTI wellness community at gmail.com. And that way we can connect with you. In fact, I'm going to upload this, but our meetings are Sunday nights, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, and 4 Pacific. And right now there's only like 8 or 9 people that show up. So as that grows, we're going to have, a chance to meet more people, but it's really intimate. So we're really getting to know each other because we have the time to dedicate to each other. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank you, Ginger, for one, having the courage to get on a video with me and let us introduce you to the world. Congratulate you on a fantastic start to your new year and your health journey.
mm-hmm.
And thank you for your engagement and your participation in the group while you continue to support others. And as we talk about, we get that benefit as well when we support others, right?
Right. That's what we do.
Yeah. So thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I greatly appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. We'll say goodbye, everyone. You can go to avantiwellness.com if you want to find out more information or